Am I the asshole for kicking out my roommate because of her hygiene? I 23 female have a roommate 18F who has zero respect for personal hygiene. We've been living together for 4 months and I can't stand living with her anymore. She doesn't shower. In 4 months she hasn't showered once. However, she goes for a 2H run every morning. I can't stand the smell anymore. It makes me sick to my stomach. I tried to talk to her about it but she just brushes it off. Says she'll shower but never does. Last week I told her that I can't stand the way she smells and how the apartment smells because of her, so she either starts showering or I'll have her evicted. Obviously nothing changed, so this morning I contacted the landlord. I explained the situation and asked if he can evict her. He came over and the second he stepped in I could see him trying not to throw up. He called her and told her she has 30 days to move out or she will be removed by force. My roommate is furious and hasn't stopped calling me names. I don't think I'm in the wrong here, but a couple of people told me that I'm being inconsiderate by having her evicted so close to Christmas and that she's in her first year of college and I may be interfering with her studies. So am I the asshole? Update. She saw this post and called me a bitch. Update 2. She's threatening to sue for cultural discrimination. My landlord talked with his lawyer and she said that even if she does she will lose because poor hygiene is a biohazard, as she said it, therefore she is putting my health at risk. In the contract it stated clearly that if any of us do anything that could put the auth at risk can be evicted on the spot with no prior notice. So giving her 30 days to move is more than he is obligated to do. On another note, my friends reached out and agreed that I am in the right and their reaction was not cool, because they won't come over for an hour because of the smell, so telling me that I should put up with it for longer was terrible of them. Not the asshole. If she smells so bad that the apartment stinks to the point where the landlord is throwing up, that isn't normal. You talked to her, she did nothing. She faffoed. The people who are telling you that you did wrong should live with her for a semester and see how they feel about it. Not the asshole. Whoa, you think you've read it all and then along comes someone so smelly even the landlord is gagging. Seriously, if it's that bad then no, not the asshole in any way, shape or form. Not the asshole. Let her stay 2 nights with anyone who thinks you are being inconsiderate. Not the asshole. And since Stinky saw the post, hey girl, wash your ass. Not the asshole. This young woman is horrible. If she doesn't change her ways, she might get thrown out of school for offensive body odor, and forget ever getting a job. If you have the information, you should contact her family and ask if she's always been this way. Would I be the asshole if I tell my friend not to send me a Christmas card from her baby? I am a happily child-free adult. Babies have always made me super uncomfortable. I don't like looking at them, being in their presence, or really hearing about them. I used to have panic attacks if I had to be near a baby or toddler, even for a minute or two. If a baby or toddler touched me, I'd freak out and have to go wash off a few layers of skin. I don't know what caused such an intense reaction, but it's always been like this. I've been working on at least being more cordial and tolerant with babies and toddlers to the point that I no longer have panic attacks. However, they still make me very uncomfortable and I don't want anything to do with them. I have a friend, we'll call her Sally, who knows that I do not like babies and how uncomfortable they make me. Sally had a baby several months back. I was polite and congratulated her. Ever since, every so often, she'll randomly message me about her baby. She'll start with, "I know you don't like babies, but," and then send pictures of her baby, tell me about toys or clothes she bought for her baby, etc. I usually reply in brief messages like, "Nice," or, "Okay," and leave it at that. I don't want to be mean, so I just give the minimal response. I delete photos immediately, usually our conversations too, 'cause I'm not interested. Sally and I are not, nor have we ever been, close friends. Recently, Sally posted in a group chat we're both in asking for people's addresses if they want to receive a Christmas card from her baby. That's how she worded it. I figured if I didn't fill out the document that would be an easy non-confrontational way to ensure I would not be receiving baby pictures in the mail. Unfortunately, Sally messaged me privately today asking for my address so she could send a Christmas card, so my silent opt-out is no longer an option. Will I be the asshole if I tell her I don't want a Christmas card from her baby and to please stop sending me photos and updates about said baby? YWBTA. You don't even need to open the card. Use tongs to take it out of the mailbox and drop it immediately in the garbage. Sally is being a little too obtuse about sharing her baby excitement, but this, literally and figuratively, is life. Sally could be lonely and struggling with the change of having a baby. Everyone has issues. It won't harm you at all to be polite about mail. Next time Sally messages you something about the baby, ask how she's doing. Sally, not the baby. She could just be looking for dialogue with an adult, and baby on the brain has limited the topics she can think of. That could be a win-win for you both. Well, I have some bad news for you that may not make you very happy. Whispers. When you came into this world, you were also a baby. You need to get therapy. This is not a healthy way to live. Suffering over the sight of babies is extreme. You are the asshole. Am I the asshole for telling my neighbor that she shouldn't wear dark colors to run in the dark? I leave for work at 6 a.m. and it's still completely dark outside. I usually see the same woman running as I'm leaving my neighborhood. She only ever wears black clothing to run, and she runs in the middle of the street. The sidewalks are icy this time of year. She's extremely hard to see with the dark clothing, and I was worried that it was only a matter of time before someone hit her because she's impossible to see. Yesterday she ran across the street while I was waiting at a stop sign, and I realized that it was one of my neighbors who lives across the street from me. I wanted to say something right then but didn't want to freak her out, so I decided to write a note and put it in her mailbox when I got home, basically saying that I've noticed that she's very hard to see when she wears black to run, and that she should maybe consider wearing lighter colors or something reflective so she doesn't get hit. Her boyfriend knocked on my door later in the evening and told me that I crossed a boundary, and that I was acting like a stalker. I assured him that I was just trying to make sure that she didn't get hit by a car, but he started getting agitated and told me to stay out of other people's business. It was not my intention at all to freak her out, and now I'm wondering if I really did cross a boundary. Not the asshole. You're worried about her safety, but clearly her boyfriend isn't. It's like common knowledge these days to wear reflective clothing when out walking, running when it's dark. When I walk the dogs in the evening, the dogs wear a light collar and I wear a reflective vest. Who goes running in dark clothes in the dark? And #X200B. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Her boyfriend is going to feel really foolish after she gets hit by a car. Have you prepared how you're going to interact with him afterwards? Just pretend you never said anything? Gee, so sorry to hear about the accident. Such a shame the driver didn't see her. Thoughts and prayers. Am I the asshole for not paying for an accident I caused? I recently got into a car accident. I totally acknowledge I was at fault. My car was a total loss, and the person I hit had a lot of scratches and a bump but still drivable. My car was a Prius, she had a much larger truck. She had 3 young kids with her and was really hesitant to call the police during the accident and asked if I could cover the damage out of pocket. TBH, I was kind of tempted to because no one likes dealing with insurance premium increases after an accident. But I DK how laws and stuff work, so I felt it would have been safer to just call the police and get an accident report. After we called the police, and they asked for our license, registration, etc., it turns out the woman was driving without a license, which is illegal in my state. She was using her husband's car. He had insurance on the car, so we exchanged info. The police also told me she was getting cited for driving without a license with 3 young kids in the car. The police left us both with driver exchange forms with each other's contact info and insurance info. Obviously everyone was unhappy with the situation and I had to go car shopping, which was not fun, given the price of used cars RN. Anyways, this happened about 2 weeks ago. I got a call today from the woman's husband telling me that insurance was refusing to pay out because he had knowingly given his permission for someone unlicensed to drive his vehicle. Additionally, they were heavily fined and charged with a misdemeanor. They are apparently very low income, and this would definitely affect them and their kids. He asked me to help him fight with insurance and for assistance with court costs since I was at fault in the accident and no one would have found out if I hadn't caused the accident. I told him to please not contact me and to let our insurance handle it, as I don't really know anything about these things. He yelled at me for not taking responsibility and ruining his family. I do feel bad, but I also feel like I did take responsibility for causing the accident. I'm not asking for legal advice, but am I the asshole for not helping them out of pocket for their damages after causing the accident? Not the asshole. You took responsibility for the crash and it affects your insurance premium, probably. But that's where your responsibilities end. You're in no way responsible for their fuck up. Sure, this wouldn't have happened if you hadn't crashed into them, but they also wouldn't be Saul if the wife wasn't driving in the first place, not to mention the accident wouldn't have even happened. Crazy level of entitlement on their part to think that you're responsible for their mistake. I completely understand both sides of the coin here. You just wanted to cover yourself at the end of the day. They also had shit to do and bills to pay, but at the end of the day they took a risk and lost the bet. Are fines a way to punish poor people especially? Yes. Is that your fault? No.